Last week, Drake filed a lawsuit against model and adult film star Layla Lace, claiming defamation and fraud following the fallout of the pair's sexual relationship.
In the documents filed with the Superior Court of California, Drake states that despite their interactions being consensual, Lace made public claims that he sexually assaulted her, but only after he denied her request for money in exchange for her silence in regard to their relationship and an alleged pregnancy.
So today we're discussing hip-hop versus extortion and who to hold accountable.
Who should be held responsible in matters of extortion? I don't like putting blame on a victim of any crime, but in hip-hop, though, like, extortion is very much a part of the culture. It's been a part of the culture since the inception of hip-hop, because early on, drug dealers would give financial backing to artists in order to get their records played, and that even happens today. In this particular instance with Drake, though, I'm really happy that he's going about the task of protecting who it is that his reputation. I think that far too often in these times, men and women both are left too vulnerable to public opinion, and they lose a lot of money and a lot of peace of mind on a mere accusation.
I mean, I agree with that, and I think Drake is going in the right direction, but honestly, we got to get some blame on these women too. Sisters, don't be mad at me after this, I'm sorry, but let's be honest. Y'all know what y'all going in there for. They know what they're doing, and that doesn't make it okay for a man to rape them or to, you know, do harm to them, but at the same time, if he's calling you up at 1:30 in the morning and telling you to come over, you know he's not saying let's have coffee.
Yeah, preventative measures should always be taken. When you get that phone call at 3 a.m. to go to an artist's room, like, you kind of know like the context of that. Like, you know what that means, and so I wish if you're not comfortable with that you would not go. That's the best advice that I would give any woman or anybody, period.
Right.
Don't go where you're going to feel uncomfortable.
Not only that, I think for these artists, they have to also hold themselves accountable and realize, listen, I'm not a normal man no more. I can't just be out here with all different types of women, meeting people, everything like that, because we need some type of consent form, some type of paperwork so that I can protect myself too.
And in these times, a mere accusation can wipe out an entire body of work, a lifetime of work. Today we saw Bill Cosby be sentenced to prison. You know what I mean? Like, and not to say that his was an accusation, due process, and so he's a guilty man. But you just got to be more protective of yourself, what you have, and your peace of mind above and beyond everything else. But right now, man, I want to toss it to a celebrity attorney, Mr. Walter Mosley, who's on the line. He often represents clients such as Amber Rose and Blac Chyna. Walter, how you doing, man?
I'm great. How are you?
Doing good, man. Doing good. So listen, right now we are discussing Drake. Do you feel like Drake is sending the right message by suing Layla Lace?
I think it's his right, at least, to be able to bring a case against this woman who allegedly defamed him and spread false information and tried to hurt his reputation and his business.
Okay, so in 2018, man, it seems like it's a really challenging thing to get to due process. How do you get to the point of due process without your name and reputation being completely sullied?
You know, I think that's just a trade-off for living in this day and time of social media and access to information. So, you know, people are able to make statements that can go viral. People can make accusations that can go viral, but what it does do is it creates damages.
Sometimes, you know, artists have to, or people have to decide, you know, is it better to settle? But my question is, what risk can a client face if they choose to settle in an effort to avoid further public conflict?
The cost of a high-powered lawyer is oftentimes more than the cost of paying what we call a nuisance fee. So if she's asking for $25,000 to be quiet about something that's not true, and your lawyer's going to give you a bill for $100 grand, you know, smart money says she pays $25,000 instead of paying the $100,000. Where this woman made a mistake, and what often happens is when you file a lawsuit, that lawsuit, you can say whatever, pretty much whatever you want to say. So, right, you're able to skirt claims of defamation if you file it in a lawsuit, which, you know, as soon as you file it, TMZ, Revolt TV, all the news outlets are going to carry it, and they're going to report it as true or as fact, or at least that's what the complaint said, right? So oftentimes we're finding that in order to avoid that a frivolous lawsuit being filed or this type of fodder being added to the public discourse, you rather just pay it. And as a lawyer, I've advised many clients just to pay it. It's just a strategic thing to do, I think. You know, when you have a lot to lose.
Walter, thank you so much for talking to us today. It was a pleasure, and you know, it helps a lot to get an insight from you and understanding. So thank you so much again.
My pleasure. Have a great day.
Thank
Same
you.
Here, man. Listen, let us know your thoughts on this discussion by joining us online at Revolt TV using the hashtag #RNews. Every show, we like to highlight something special within the culture that continues to push it forward. We call this segment Everyday Excellence.